Hey everyone, welcome back to the group, and let me just say congratulations. You made it to week 10, the final part of our series, Battle Ready. I hope now that you realize just how important it is to sit with some other people, to learn together and process the things that we're all learning, and to do it in community. Now, let me give you one more reminder before we go forward that we're a few days away from Easter Sunday. And I'm asking you again to just pray for that day. Pray for the people who are serving, pray for the people who are preparing, pray for the guests that we will be having, and pray that God will work in people's lives on that day. I hope that you are inviting someone to join you, to maybe sit with you for one of the services, and there are still just a few spots open for you to serve on that morning. You can find all of that info in the Church Center app under the More tab located at the bottom right hand. Okay, here we are. One final time to talk about being battle ready. Now, I think every week you should be reading the passage as a group. So maybe you would do that one more time tonight, Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 20. And I think you should spend some time thinking back over and maybe even piecing together the overall arc, I guess I would call it, that we've created. What I mean by that is that in the very beginning, we laid a foundation with these 4 principles. You're in a spiritual battle. The battle began before you were born. The outcome's already been decided, but in the meantime, Satan and his evil forces are on a mission. And then we spent a whole week talking about that mission, that the enemy has a standard strategy. He resorts to old tricks and schemes and strategies, and yet they're designed for you. And a threefold strategy might go like this. He wants to create questions about God, he wants to twist the truth, and then he wants to offer a tempting alternative. Now, with all of that understanding, we can better see the need for the battle armor and how each piece is necessary for the fight. So I think you should even take some time together to talk through those pieces and see if you can come up with maybe a 1 or 2 sentence understanding of what the purpose of each one is and how it can be used in the battle. And don't forget to include prayer. Not specifically mentioned as a weapon, but perhaps the greatest tool we have in our arsenal to engage in the fight. In many ways, this last group discussion is to make sure that you have a grasp on the previous 9 weeks. Because here's what's going to happen, is that just because the series is over, or now that your group is going to end, or maybe just take a short break, after all the weekly reminders that you are in a battle, after those have all ended, the enemy is not going to stop coming for you. This might be why Paul, in 10 verses, mentions 4 times the need for us to simply stand. Verse 11, he says, stand against the schemes of the devil. Verse 13, he says it twice, resist in the evil day. And then he says, having prepared everything to take your stand. Verse 14, he says it one more time, stand, therefore. It's like Paul is saying, after you've suited up, while you are trying to stay alert, do whatever you need to do to make sure you stand firm, and then stand firm a little more. Those of you who watch or follow sports, how many times have you seen or maybe heard it said that the team with the ball last is probably going to win? You know, the game's intense, it's back and forth, one team pulls ahead and then the other one bounces right back. There are multiple ties and lead changes, and you can never really tell who's going to pull it out. In many ways, this spiritual battle is going to be won by the person who is left standing in the end. And that's how we're going to wrap up the series. Put on the armor of God, yes. Stay alert to what's happening, yes. And then stand your ground. And sometimes all you can do and all you need to do is stand. You and I are in daily battles with the enemy, but God has won the war. And next Sunday, we will celebrate the ultimate statement of victory by celebrating the resurrection of Jesus. And together, let's stand in the power of God.